Hi, good afternoon, everyone. I'm Cheryl from Orb Coaching. I offer three primary coaching services: business life and professional business English. In the last 6 months, I've been recording videos on the hop, uploading them on YouTube, and providing you with some insight into what goes on in a coaching session, how it could look, and also to give you some tips. So, the client I'm going to talk to you about today is business coaching, and also with professional English included. This client is working for a multinational company and has a top leadership position. Very aware of all the uncertainty that's going on around, layoffs, etc. However, we're still pushing forward, myself and my clients, and getting on with things and doing the best that we can do and still growing in times of uncertainty. Um, with that in view, she has taken on board an extra task to streamline her department and upgrade the level of quality assurance that they are providing their clients with, and also the level of professionalism that they are offering, so that not only is she growing with me, but then she's going back and empowering her team and helping them grow too. With this particular session that we had, it was to do with written communication. The client couldn't quite figure out the right wording on how to introduce a new service that she was going to offer her own team. And the tricky part here was that what she's been working on with other coaches, but the way that it came across in her written documentation was very, very formal, directional, instructional, and it absolutely gave the complete wrong tone. Thankfully, my client paused and didn't send out the document. She went with her feelings and realized that the tonality of it wasn't quite right and contacted me. I rewrote the whole sort of first part for her because we were, and the way that I worded it was to expand on the explanation of it and also to offer team members the option to go for this, and that it's specifically there for their support and the reason for it. This went really, really well. There's been very good positive feedback. Why was this important? Had she sent out the original document that she had prepared, she would not have got cooperation from her team and neither people from other teams. So what's happened now is that they all can't wait to get started, and they're really appreciative of her going out of her way to help them grow and develop and bring the quality of this business sector, business division, up to a higher level of professionalism. Documentation, that's not what the message would have been saying. So it's really, really important that you understand the difference in formalities, when there's a need for it, when there's not a need for it, when there's a need to explain things, when there's a need not to explain so much stuff, and also when there is the need to have a very clear message, what the whole communication is about. In this case, it was support, level up the quality assurance and the professionalism, streamline the whole department to make it much easier for not only the team and herself, but also for their clients. This is B2B. And it's been received incredibly well. So that's a success 60-minute session that we had. Moving on from that, she's going to expand and have a brainstorming session. We talked about this today, and it's really, really important for her as the leader and the facilitator of this brainstorming session that she really thinks about what the outcome of the brainstorming session is going to achieve and what she wants to gain from it. We're going to do that in the next session through role play and also me giving her direct feedback with experience and through coaching. And it's also very, very important, what I mentioned to her today is that she sets out some ground rules. One of the things that came up was when her team are working from home and they're not actually at the office, there's a high majority of the team not with their webcam on. This really irks my client. She can't stand it, and she's the one in the leadership position. So, what I suggested to her today is to set some basic ground rules. One of them being, please have your webcams on, but not to say at the brainstorming session itself, because if up until then it wasn't a requirement from her, she might make some of the team members really uncomfortable. So I told her to set some basic rules like have the webcam on, please put the mobile phone on vibration, etc. And then to give the option that if anyone needs to reach out to her for any personal reasons that won't allow them to do that, then to reach out to her. And of course, show the empathy and compassion, because there might be something going on at home that no one knows about or that really hinders the employee, and it's genuine. What this also does is it sort of gets people in the right mindset as well. So I personally have clients online without their webcams. I need to know that they're present. I need to know that they're dressed for and that they're not laying in bed or on their mobiles and these things, because we've got work to do, and the time that someone is giving you for you to develop and for you to grow and for you to be pushing forward should really be respected and not taken for granted. So with this message, don't be scared to set some ground rules. Do it very nicely. You don't have to go in dictatorial and you must do this and you have to do that. You also don't need to over explain your reason for doing it. Just, we're having this brainstorming session. Everyone needs to have their webcam on, and I'm going to be asking everybody to have an input. This keeps the message really clean and very, very conducive to a much more successful brainstorming session. And maybe you'll have people in the group who are very outgoing, might have the tendency to monopolize a meeting, and you'll have some of the members who are maybe a bit more introverted. Yet the ones who are extroverted are mentally prepared that they can't monopolize the whole time, and those who are introverted to get prepared that they're going to need to contribute and be involved. So this is just one example of working on clear communication, letting people know what it is that you want, what the purpose is, and setting some very basic ground rules. I mean, you would think you don't need to do this with adults, they're not children, but I'm afraid that we do when companies don't have these policies in automatically, and it hinders the fluidness of a meeting or a brainstorming session, whatever. So please don't be scared out there, but if you are not sure exactly how to word or how to tone things, reach out to professionals like myself. We're very can assure you that you are spending your time focused on the task that you should be focusing on, rather than any frustrations or unclear communication, and you'll be able to enjoy the meeting or session, and so will your team. And I can also guarantee you that the feedback will be really positive and people will be motivated. Everyone has an input, everyone's voice will be heard. So bear that in mind. Adjust communication, double check, don't always send it out immediately. I always recommend sleep on it, wait a bit, or send it out when you're really calm. And also imagine if you were reading that, how would you feel? A great week and take care of yourselves. Thank you. Bye.